Hey guys, we are out here again in nature. I'm with Cree. This is my partner, by the way, guys. To all you guys that haven't met him before, we've made a couple videos on the channel before. But basically, this is a very interesting topic, and I think this is a topic that is very centered around the ego. And I think there's a time and place for being very wary of your own feelings. I think we always have to be conscious of our feelings, care for ourselves, and be open to tapping into our emotions and really experiencing them. But at the same time, I do think there's a time and place at the same time for acknowledging when we might project this outward too much and, maybe want to receive a lot of sympathy for our own actions, or maybe sometimes we have to, see that, other people may be having problems and they have projecting things onto us. But at the same time, we have to stop and think to ourselves, okay, but what have I done? And instead of thinking about it being a problem, because at the end of the day, there isn't problems, it's kind of like, how do you focus on what you can do to control and fix the situation, a solution, rather than it be something that's you're going back and forth with words constantly. And this morning we were talking about words and how sometimes words aren't necessary and sometimes silence is the way forward.
I agree. I think perception is super powerful because perception is what creates our perceived reality. So if you're going through a problem, you have two ways to see something all the time. Obviously there's many degrees, it's not always just two sides, there's many degrees between one side and the other, like hot, cold, and there's many temperatures in between. But at the end of the day, there's always two ways of seeing things. There's either good or bad. Do you know what I'm saying? This is good for me or bad for me. And I think obviously we all want to see things as good for us because we want to have a good experience. And I feel like, in my experience, the way to do that is to realise that nothing's happening to you. Everything's just happening for you. And it can be really hard to stick to this belief system, to this programming that I've just spoke, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a programming, we're trying to program ourselves in the right way. Everything's a programming, there's negative and positive programming, and obviously to stick to this programming can be hard, but at the end of the day, it's true because, when you go to the gym and you tear your muscles to repair them, they get stronger. And it's the same way that life works. So it's about programming ourselves in the right way with the right mental kind of toolkit to say, you know what, when something's happening to me and it feels horrible, all that is making me stronger. So that's why I think this phrase of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger is very true. Even though it's very cliche, it's very true.
I think that it's a very interesting one because I really do feel like when we say the victim mentality, we have to analyse and wonder, what does that mean? I think, personally, is that kind of defence, survival mode we tap into in certain situations. Mm-hmm. And I think when you can change your mindset in general and change the way you perceive things, that's when you can tap out of that mentality, because we don't have to be in defense mode. We're just humans interacting with other humans. We should never really have to feel like we're in defense mode unless someone's literally about to attack you. So it's kind of like, how do we analyze words and these frequencies that we receive and transmute them into and transmute them frequencies and push them back in the right direction, rather than transmuting it thinking, oh my gosh, this has happened to me, how could this happen, why would they do this? But then it's like, we have to really know that we have the control over the situation. And I feel like we care about ourselves deeply. If there's anybody that we care about, it is ourselves. At the end of the day, we feed ourselves, we do what we can do for ourselves. The deepest people we know are ourselves, and we don't know anyone deeper than that. So I do think it's good to care for yourself, and it's good to have this support and protection over yourself. But at the same time, I do believe that everybody has different perspectives, and I think it's really about being conscious of other people's perspectives, respecting them, and saying, you know what, this is my perception, and I want them to understand my perception. I want them to see me for who I am. But at the same time, I believe that sometimes I need to see if there's a way I can see their perspective too. And it might be hard to, especially in the moment when there's so many feelings, so many emotions that we go through, more on the negative frequency of emotions. It's so hard to surrender and say, you know what, let me see if this is true or not, or you know what I mean? Because of course our thoughts are true, but at the same time, there's so many different things you can think, there's so many different possibilities in the world, don't you think?
I was gonna say as well, like, at the end of the day, the truth of everything is that everything's connected in it, and like, we live in this reality. We're all separated because we live in a world of material. We're experiencing that as spirit. We're in a vehicle that navigates a world of space and time. So obviously we're gonna have these defense mechanisms because they keep us safe. But it's about being aware enough, because we have three parts of our brain in it. We have the reptilian brain, the mammalian brain, and the neo-mammalian brain. And there are three different types of your brain, like sides of your brain, which allow you to tap into different levels, different brain waves, brain states. And obviously as humans, we exclusively have the neo-mammalian, which is the part of our brain that allows us to be metacognitive, which is thinking about our thinking. Do you know what I'm saying? So we have to be able to use that. And that allows us to tap into the divine and consciously tap into the divine fact that we are part of everything. So what I mean by that in relation to the title of the video is that there's no such thing as being a victim in reality. Do you feel me? Like, everything is everything, and everything returns to nature. So really and truly, if you adopt this mindset, then you create the reality for yourself that everything that happens to you is happening for you. Everything that happens to you is part of your growth. And it's something I'm working on, it's something we're all working on. Like, it's kind of like an ultimate kind of level of awareness, to be honest, that needs to be maintained, and many things will challenge us to maintain it. Many things will try and throw us off through our emotions. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's the truth. And as long as we can keep coming back to it and remembering that, taking the right actions, not getting misled. And you know what, if we do slip up, then we just get back up. That's what matters, like getting back up straight away, just getting back up. Because the more we get up, the easier it will be to maintain the state over an amount of time. Like, I'm only young, like, we're both only 21, you get me? So we're getting to the point very early, and we're gonna get better and better, more grounded, and know how to deal with situations more efficiently as we go along. But yeah, this is it really. Like, at the end of the day, being a victim is a mindset. And to be a victim of circumstances is not the most it's not the most praiseworthy type of person to be. So I'd not want to be one of those people, and I don't think you should either, to be honest. You get me? Oh, everyone's like, we've all been there. But you know what, like, how long are we going to be in that position, fam? Because at the end of the day, you got to pick yourself back up, and life continues. And that's the thing, life just keeps going on. Life is infinite, nature's infinite. And at the end of the day, what we should be doing is being part of that life. And it's hard to be like that vessel of infinity that allows infinity to just flow through it. It's hard to do that. It's not just something that just happens. Like, you have to learn to both battle and dance with. It's because I always say I dance, but at the same time, sometimes it is a battle. Like, sometimes you have to see it as a battle. Like, you know what, I'm gonna pattern it. You know what I'm saying? Like, serious thing. So it's like, certain thoughts and emotions come to us. Sometimes you gotta eradicate that. Sometimes you have to learn. There's different ways to, you know what I'm saying, to correspond with certain thoughts and to get through them. And it's just about learning the different ways of juggling life, man.
I think that, like, we're in a relationship, so we've experienced this side of ourselves before many times, and I think it's something that we've definitely both had to develop over time, and it's something that I've learned, and I think being in this relationship has really taught me that how to interact with other people, not just my partner, because our interactions and the situations we go through definitely do teach me things, especially when it comes to the victim mentality. Because you have to think about it like this. In a relationship, you're always together. You always see every aspect of the person, the majority of the time, especially when it's like close distance. You know what I mean? And I think, yeah, sometimes it's like, but I'm right, but I'm right, but I'm right. Or like, but you did this, you did this, you did this. And it's kind of like, you really have to tap out and sometimes allow yourself, especially when you have connections you care about and connections you really, really, really do value. You do have to sometimes surrender to yourself and say and ask yourself all different aspects and be open to listening at the same time. I think it is about sometimes not saying stuff. Like sometimes things don't need to be said. And I think when too many words come into the equation and you're constantly in a word battle that you don't need to be in, things just get harder. And I don't really feel like there's a solution at the end of that. I feel like it's just constant trying to be understood. But at the same time, it is okay to just say, I don't need to speak right now. And I'm open to listening on a level.
Yeah, and I've been learning this recently. Like sometimes it doesn't matter if you think you're right. Like you have to just, because we both feel like the victim. Like that's what it is. Like once again, it's the victim mentality. Both feeling both feeling like, yo, you did it to me. And while half of it may be true, like I've got a lyric, and I said, two people can be right, the answer's always in between. Like, and it's so true, because at the end of the day, you're focusing on your perspective, they're focusing on theirs. They can both be true. It's just that, they're not seeing yours, you're not seeing theirs, and the thing is, you can't fully see theirs. Like, you will never be able to fully see it because you didn't experience it from their perspective. And I guess sometimes it's about just letting go and just saying, you know what am I going to focus on? Because sometimes that's not everything. Like, the thing that just happened isn't everything. Like, and I'm not saying like I don't get into these situations at all. It's just that I'm learning these things as I go along, and it's like, I'd be wrong not to share this, you know what I mean? But like, obviously, yeah, like, it's okay to not say anything. Like, it's okay to speak when you need to speak, and not speak when you don't need to speak. Like, there's certain things you can just bypass. You can literally just let go of it. Like, you can, like.
And I think that, following what you just said, I think that, you know what, if you say, for example, two people can be in that victim mentality, but it's you, but it's you, but it's you, but it's you. And I feel like that can really happen. But at the same time, if you're trying to get them to see, for example, say it's me and Cree right now, and we're having an argument or a disagreement, should I say, not an argument. And I'm like, but Cree, it's you. Can you not see? It's you. And then Cree's like, Ree, it's you. Like, if we're in that state, sometimes one person, or just you, I'm talking to you specifically, it's okay to just let go. And if they can't see that they're doing something that's wrong towards you, if they can't see and they're not willing to actually take accountability in that situation, okay, cool, you've already expressed it to them. You don't need to keep going and going and going and going. Just let go. Because I think that's the best thing you can do sometimes, just to ease the energy, like, and just be like, it is a humble thing to do, I believe. It's it kind of removes the ego in that moment. Like, you know what, you keep saying it's me, I keep saying it's you, I've already told you how I feel, but at the end of the day, just like, okay, cool. If you're not gonna accept what I've just told you, then it is what it is. Yeah. It's true.
I guess like, and have the boundaries at the same time. We're going into a kind of different subject, but at the same time, it is relevant. Like to have boundaries at the same time. I feel like if someone's done something crazy and they're not seeing anything wrong with what they did, sometimes you gotta just let them off. And I can't lie.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, this is the same thing, kind of thing. But at the same time, like, yeah, man, like sometimes just let go. Like, just let go. I hear it, and I'm talking to myself as well. Like, I've been learning to just let go sometimes, because the love that you have underneath is so much more worth so much more than the discussion you're having. Like, it's literally a moment in time that it existed then. It doesn't have to exist now. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it wouldn't matter to anyone in like the next year. Like, well, that dog needs to be careful.
You can see a dog.
You know, it's trying to go in the water and that's cold water. Trying to get them ducks. That's peak. But yo, yeah, I think they get the point.
The dog. Can you see it over there?
I think they get the point.
We just literally. Oh, can you hear me? Oh, you probably couldn't hear me. I was just showing you the dog. But yeah, we're just at the tree again, the main spot. This is my favourite tree at the moment, I'm not going to lie. It's really holding some beautiful space to make these videos and content, so I'm just very grateful. It's just like nice, it's literally over our heads.
Yeah, it's a bit away from people because it's on a bit of a dip.
Should we show them it?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to come away from the tree. I'm going to show you what the tree looks like from a distance. So this is like outside of my house, like we have like a nature spot, and this is the tree we're underneath. Oh, look how beautiful that looks. Look at Cree out here. Look, it's literally frozen. Like the water's literally frozen. Here it's kind of still. I don't know why it's quite runny here, but over here it's very frozen. But I love it. Like, I'm not a fan of winter at all, but I think waking up early has really shown me a different side of winter.
Yeah.
And a side that I need to appreciate more.
It's nice and what's the word? Crispy.
Also, if you feel like, you know, you're in that victim mentality sometimes, just get into nature, man. Like we said, let go. Like, let go.
Do something about it.
Do something with yourself. Like, just focus on yourself and say, you know what, I don't feel, if it's a situation you don't feel appreciated, or you feel like, you know what, they done this to me, or this has happened to me, like, da da da. Sometimes you just have to give yourself what you're looking for. Like, I feel like when you constantly project it onto somebody else, it just becomes a never-ending battle. But
Yeah, because you can only change yourself, and there's only like, there's always more you can do. There's always something you can do. There's always something to do. Even if it's a slight thing, even if it's going on a walk as you wake up, that'll change the whole trajectory of your day. You know, so like, just think about the micro steps that you can take to just lead yourself into a different mind state, because it's just a mind state. Like, I'm in a different mind state now, so I'm going to be in 3 minutes. No, literally, I'm going to feel different. So I am now in 3 minutes, slightly. 3 hours, I'll feel probably quite a lot different to what I did now. So it's just, remember the change and the waves of life, they're common. You have actually a big amount of control over that as well. Like, what you do now is going to affect how you feel then. And if something comes in unexpectedly, what you did then is going to then affect how you perceive what happens. So everything is a reflection of what you're doing. So cause the effect you want to cause and take some control over that, man.
thank you for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, then definitely like, subscribe, and hit the notification bar for more content. Yeah, I make videos like this all the time on the channel, so Cree's sometimes on here. But this is just a place for growth, and just, you know, these are things that we're learning. Like, we're not perfect, of course, but I think it's a space for us to just express. And there's other people going through stuff, and we've battled and went through certain obstacles and different places, and I think this is just a space where you guys can, you know, feel free to vibe with us and see what I go on. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.